Good afternoon, everyone, and jumping in review of the Whistler Jump and Go Portable Jump Start and Power Supply. I happened to see this last winter, and I didn't have a good power supply jumper for the Scout. My older one, the battery had finally given up the ghost of being charged and discharged so many times over the years. This guy was $30-some. I'll find a link, I'll put something down below. And so what I wanted to do is, the Scout was actually fine. I did a couple testing down in, I think, single digits this winter with the old FJ55, which is still in the family, if you guys have been asking about it. And we'll go to that right now. Hey guys, having a lovely ice fog out today. What we're doing is getting the old Iron Pig warmed up for winter. I'm not sure exactly what was done to winterize it. However, I do know the battery is completely dead, and we were in single digits. Had some freezing fog last night, inch or two of snow, not too bad. What I wanted to try, since the battery is completely dead, was I picked this up for the Scout. It's made by Whistler. It's called the Jump and Go, and it's basically a lithium-ion battery designed to jump your car. Let me get this out because I only got one hand today, and we'll see how it works. All right, pretty simple, small battery, jump pack. It does have kind of an inline cutoff so that it can't be drained to the point where it'd be dangerous for the Jump and Go. It does have to be, I think, at least half charged. I'll take a closer look at this in the studio, but as you can see, we got a full charge on here. This battery's been sitting for over a year. This truck hasn't been run since last winter when they got like 2 feet of snow. So, all right, giving it 10 minutes. Let us see if it'll charge. There's the light. Oh. Alright, we're back here to try this again. Now let's just see if it'll actually turn over. So, I will say it right now, it's this car, we did warm it up. We used jumper cables today instead of the jumper, but the alternator has not had a chance to fully charge the battery. As you can see with the key, the light comes on, but just not enough juice to actually turn it over. It is also much warmer, as I said. So we'll go hook up the jumper box and see if that'll work today. Alright, so we're back. The engine is actually somewhat still warmed up. However, you still saw the battery didn't have enough juice. So we're basically mimicking maybe 40-degree temperatures, not quite freezing, still considered winter. Battery that has somewhat charge in it, but maybe you left your lights on and it's just not enough charge. It's not quite as bad. Last time it was very cold and the battery was absolutely drained to nothing. So we're gonna mimic basically leaving your lights on during winter, and let's see if that works. All right, let's see if I turn the ignition switch on. Lights. So that definitely worked. If it's just sort of dead and not completely dead from being in storage all the time, and it's a little bit warmer, maybe it's not a total waste. So as you can see, you know, a completely, absolutely zonked dead battery in the middle of winter. This thing's not going to have enough power. And just open it up here, you can see the size of it. Probably somewhere around the 4,000 milliamp, something like that. Let's see if it says. It does not say. It definitely says if it's below 32 degrees or 0 Celsius, basically freezing, please allow a few minutes before starting the vehicle, which I did. And you guys saw that it didn't really have enough oomph. It turned it over, but because it's an older rig and it hadn't been started in over years, it had to get cranked a few times in order to get the fuel going. If you had a modern vehicle, I bet this would do it, especially if it's a little bit smaller, you know, motor. The starter motor's not going to use as much juice. In fact, I just used this the other day. I was on the motorcycle, didn't have an SD card in the GoPro, and there was a guy in the middle of kind of a BLM land road, and he was turned sideways with the hood up, and I stopped. It looked like he'd been having fun in the puddles, and it did something. It shorted out his battery, and when he turned the key, all it did was click. And so I pulled this guy out, put it on there. I was like, well, maybe it just needs a little more juice, and sure enough, fired right up. I think it was a little Kia Sportage or something. He looked like he was having fun. But so what I decided to do is to use it for the motorcycle. And, you know, pretty easy. Obviously, you've got your alligator clips. It's got this, I believe it's a C2 connection, which I've come to really like. And this also shares with a lot of other sort of power supply products that I'm going to do some conversions on. It has a little fuse link in there. I do have the wall charger, but I can also bring this guy and I can charge it on the bike. So it kicks all the boxes. So I've been carrying this the last 2 years, 20,000 some miles on the KLR. And so I've been able to use it to charge my USB. So at night I can charge the cell phone off of it. I don't use it all the time for that, only because it's a little bit harder to charge this. I have to use a cigarette plug on the side. So I will do that at night. But I've also lost the silicone outside, and you can see it's been jumping around, jump and go, inside the motorcycle bag for quite a while. Power button gives you power level, and it has been phenomenal for motorcycles. I've used it on an old 2-stroke kickstarts. I've used it on a Honda, was the NX250 that my sister has. It was having battery issues. It does have a little flashlight if you need that. And then there's a C2 plug. Super simple. Works great on motorcycles. If you have a vehicle that you just let the power just run just enough so you're getting the click, this definitely has more than enough juice to get you going, and it's super small form factor. Here is my cell phone. See, it's about the same size, obviously a little bit thicker, but does not take up hardly any room, and allows me the peace of mind that if I'm charging the laptop or I'm charging cell phones and I'm using the power of the battery on the KLR at night or while I'm at camp to continue to bring you these wonderful videos that I do. Charging GoPros, the Senna, all sorts of stuff that I'll end up charging every night. If for some reason, my battery goes down, I know I'm not having to push it up hills, try to jump start it, push start it in the mountains by myself. So great peace of mind, $30 some. I've done a lot of extensive testing, and I've got 2 more Jumpstart products which are a little bit bigger, more of a car form factor, but this thing is perfect for the motorcycle. And I know there's another company out there, which I didn't find till after I bought this, called MicroStart, I believe. And they have a ton of accessories for their systems, and they all use the C2 stuff. So what I did on the KLR was I went to the thicker gauge cables, and I'll put in a quick little video here of installing the MicroStart battery terminal to this. So I don't even have to take the side covers off. I can plug this directly right into the box from the side of the KLR, just like you do a normal sort of trickle charger. All right, so what we're doing here is just replacing what you got your standard SAE used for basically trickle charging batteries, and some accessories like your pumps and whatnot. You can see the gauge of the wire is very small compared to the kit from Anti-Gravity. And the other thing is, what this is going to do is you're also not going to have an actual inline fuse with this. So what I may do, at least for maybe the pump, if I even carry the pump still, is take this apart, add an inline fuse on the products that you're using themselves, since you won't have one with the actual jumper cables. The wiring is nice. It's very high quality. It's, however, maybe a little short. I'm kind of having a struggle here figuring out where it's going to go. The black is obviously shorter, and it's going to have to fit under there. So this guy is going to have to be tucked, maybe either under the fairing here. Maybe I'll pull it down. But it doesn't give you a whole lot of mounting options depending on how your battery is either. Even if my battery posts were the original stock straight up, it would still be a little funky to get this into a position where you wouldn't have to remove your seat. So that might be nice to see this a little bit longer. So if it's somebody else, I definitely have to, I carry these basically for other people. I don't really need the alligator clips. If you were trying to go super light and you weren't worried about helping other people, you could just carry the box and maybe the charging cable, and away to go. Very cool product. Links below. Thanks for watching, guys.